Hey people, it is Sunday, September the 22nd, 8:35 p.m. and about 21 Celsius, but feeling more like 30 with the humidity. And this also happens to be the first day of autumn, but I guess it's also the first night of autumn, so I'll be taking a little walk around mostly the east side of downtown here on this first autumn's eve. I was just sort of inside the apartment all day and thought I'd venture out now that the hot sun has set. And since it is the first day of autumn, I thought I'd mark the occasion with a little walk around my neighborhood. But I didn't realize until I just came outside that I might get caught in a rain shower. There's very light, drizzly rain coming down. That's not much of anything right now. Hopefully it doesn't come down any harder because I didn't bring my umbrella with me. Because once again, when I looked at the weather as I was getting ready to come out and record the video, there was no mention or indication of any rain. So I'm heading south down Jarvis Street. I started at Gerrard. So all in all, it's a pretty hot summer here in Toronto. We had a lot of wet weather as well. It was simultaneously one of the wettest summers I think we've had in a while. But there were also many hot days with weather well into the 30s and very much humidity, including even tonight. Just a sticky, hot, wet, miserable sort of summer, at least for me. I'm sure some people might have enjoyed some of it. So I think I'll just make my way down to Dundas Street. And then we'll head over to a couple of side streets. A very nice long stretch of scaffolding here. It's not a Toronto walking video without some of this. Even though it is in the 20s with humidity making it feel like 30, at the same time somehow there's a bit of a feel of fall in the air. And the light rain continues to come down and pelt my face. So here's Dundas. I have yet to even try this place. It's been open here for probably going on 10 years that I've been living in the neighborhood. It's even open till 3 a.m. on some nights. Same with these places too. I think that one's 24 hours. All right, let's head down to Dalhousie, just crossing Mutual Street. Dundas. It's fairly full on the streetcar. Now up ahead you can see Yonge and Dundas. We're not going that far. This is Dalhousie Street. This is one of the side streets that has gone vertical just in the last 5-10 years. It's not really much to offer a pedestrian though on this block other than the back entrances to some of these condo towers. These front onto Church Street, which is the next street over. Too sure what's happening right now. All these emergency vehicles. Shooter Street. Might get a closer look at whatever it is over there because I'm going to loop around once I get to Queen Street and we'll go back up Mutual Street heading north again. I wonder if this has opened up anymore over here. This will be a sort of new walkway filled with retail. This development is getting closer to completion. I don't know if it's a dead end or not. Looks like I can't walk all the way through, but eventually you'll be able to walk all the way through to Queen Street. And there'll be shops inside here. This development is called the Elm and Ledbury, I think. Got a nice little parkette here. Well, it was worth a try anyway. Luckily, the rain has not gotten any heavier. There'll be more retail spaces all along here too. Looks like somebody already shattered the glass on this door. Now the other side of the street just sort of looks run down and uninviting and a bit intimidating, to be honest. Another very tall building is just starting construction right here. All right, so here's Queen Street. Sort of like a hazy quality to the air tonight. I'm not sure if it's causing the lens on my camera to fog up or not. See, they used actual curved glass here in this development, at least for the podium anyway. So there'll be more retail all along here too. And the buildings on this part of Queen Street East are very attractive on this block. Pretty substantial. And another tall tower rising here. Cars just coming at me from every direction here. Now we're walking up the other side of the development, heading north here on Mutual. All kinds of Shops and retail will be located here as well. Got a nice courtyard there. Maybe in another year or so, that'll all be complete. Let me just wipe my lens quickly. I think it's okay, but there's a slight fogginess I can see. It probably didn't make a difference. I have to adjust my camera now. There we go. I think there's just lots of humidity right now. And the light drizzle seems to have stopped, so that's good. So now this is what we were looking at before. I still don't know what's going on. All right, we're back at Shooter. So let's start heading east here. Some lovely old townhomes. These were completely leveled and then rebuilt again as a facade. You wouldn't know it now though. They look completely convincingly authentic. They used the exact same bricks. Basically just tore it down and put it all back together again in facade form. Those date from the mid-19th century, so they wanted to preserve that old row of townhomes, at least the illusion of it anyway. We're at Jarvis. So now we're going east. I think I already mentioned that. We'll head east for a few more blocks. I'm going to take us through some alleyways once we get east of Sherbourne Street. Here's the Moss Park Armory. Pretty fortified with its razor wire. Have to be very careful trying to climb over that fence. Not that I'd have any reason to do so. Moss Park on this side. beautiful old townhomes across the street. I bet you get a good deal on purchasing one of these townhomes based solely on the fact that it's located directly across the street from Moss Park here, which is not exactly the most well-reputed park in the city. This whole stretch of Shooter Street actually has a very bad reputation, along with nearby Dundas and Queen, especially right here around Sherbourne Street. It's notorious, you could say, by Toronto standards, but it's also more or less my neighborhood, so I'm kind of used to it. And I'll have to talk over some music here from a random passerby. Not sure. That's an interesting song to have to listen to. Maybe I'll slow down and wait until the light changes so I don't have to stand right beside him with that music playing. I don't think it's suitable for children. Probably get my channel demonetized. Alright, let me cross here quickly. Alright, crossing Sherbourne. So down there you have Queen and Sherbourne. And up here you have Dundas and Sherbourne. And all these buildings here have a bit of a reputation. This is the Moss Park Apartments over here. So we got something going on over here in front of the Moss Park buildings. These are some of the oldest high-rise public housing projects in the city. Nearby Regent Park was another neighborhood with similar buildings, but the older ones have mostly all been demolished now and replaced with newer housing, whereas these ones are still standing. Okay, now I'm going to look for a lane here. I think this is it, Nighthawk Lane. So we'll say goodbye to the Moss Park Apartments. Oh, I did want to check out the skyline view from here, though. You can make out some of the financial district. All right, let's explore Nighthawk Lane. This will take us up to another laneway that intersects. You might think, why is Ken walking through this dark alleyway in a bad part of town at night? Well, sometimes I ask myself that same question, but it seems perfectly safe at the moment to me. Got the little laneways going off on each side. Although the ground is sort of uneven. Yeah, I just spotted a raccoon and another one, 2 raccoons. These ones are bigger. I saw one just recently in another video. It was a small one, a juvenile. These ones look to be fully grown. It's amazing how a big bulky raccoon can squeeze through such narrow spaces. Right, now there are some characters up here. They're up to something a little bit sketchy, but I just sort of walked by nonchalantly. And now we're heading east. This laneway changes names a few times as you continue eastward. There's Dundas Street right over there. And that'll take you onto Parliament Street. So this is one of those alleys that looks like a street. It's a little bit of both, so I just call them a stralley. I've been trying to get this term to catch on for a while now. If strode became a thing, I don't see why stralley can also be a thing. And that's right, you heard it here first. On one side it's like a back alley, and on the other side here it has frontages of housing. So what is it? I think it's listed as a street, like Poulette Street, I think is the name of it. But it definitely looks like a hybrid. And we're about to emerge back onto Shooter Street again with the Moss Park Apartments. Poulette Street, I was right. It should say Poulette Stralley. Maybe after I'm dead and gone, if my YouTube videos live on, they can officially make Stralley a thing in my honor. Alright, so this is Parliament Street. There's an interesting retail strip along here. It seems to be full of Islamic businesses. It extends just a bit north of Dundas. I think it's mainly Somali-owned businesses. supposed to try helping him and the Regent Park neighborhood is just to the east of here. We're almost at Dundas Street, and I can feel the rain has started up again, although it's still very light. But it held off long enough for me to get a decent walk around the area in, so it all worked out. So I'm going to start to wrap up the walk here as we approach Dundas. So I hope you enjoyed the first night of autumn walk around some parts of the east side of downtown. Covered several streets and several alleys and even a Strally. So I hope you enjoyed. Leave a comment down below letting me know if you did or not. And be sure to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already done so. And also make sure you hit that notification bell so that you don't miss any of my videos. If you'd like to support the channel, there are links in the description where you can do so via PayPal as well as via my merch store. Or you can also support the channel by becoming a channel member or by sending a super thanks if you prefer. And you can find me on Instagram also under KContinuum. So I'll just take us across Dundas. All right, so thanks for watching, and thanks to all the channel members. And be sure to keep checking back because, as always, I will continue.